wanna spend my life with you all day. You say that you love me, is it true? You say I'm the only one that's all for you. Okay, make me feel away, make me feel away. Shorty so damn dangerous, fuck me like I'm famous, yeah. I've been so impatient, so glad that you made it here. Took my dick and faced it, shorty going crazy, yeah. Thought that you was playing, told me spray it everywhere. She want me to take it, what you tryna do? Shorty said she like it red.
Hey girl, hey, welcome back to another episode of That Girl Got Knowledge. I'm Rustique and we got,
it's your girl Ebony.
and we have a special guest today, Miss Cynthia.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course, thanks for being here, girl, on this Black holiday.
Come on, period.
Hello. But let's dive right into it. So you are a cosmetic chemist, right?
Yes, correct.
What is that? What does that entail? Because I feel like, every other day I'm finding about new career paths, and I have never heard of, it makes sense, but I ain't never heard of a cosmetic chemist. So, what is that?
So let me ask you, what do you think a cosmetic chemist is?
In my head, because I wear makeup, I think I think of a cosmetic chemist being the scientist behind putting the ingredients together to make makeup, right?
Right.
Whether it be eyeshadow, foundation.
Right. Yes.
Because I was looking at your Instagram, so I saw the ingredient list and so I cheated a little bit, but yeah.
It's called certified liquor.
No, that's right. A cosmetic chemist does formulate products. So it could be hair care products, skin care, makeup, toiletries, men's care. But a cosmetic chemist doesn't just research, and they just don't develop for clients or for their brand owners. They can also do regulatory. So if you think about your product that has to get on the market, if you have a sunscreen, you have to go through the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Administration, the FDA. Also, you have your sales representatives that are cosmetic chemists that will go to different laboratories and manufacturers to try to sell the raw materials that they're trying to create for that product. So a cosmetic chemist can have so many different hats. They could be marketing agents, they can be actual brand owners, but for me, I do the research and development of the products.
Interesting. I didn't know it could be all of that. I was literally just thinking you in the lab.
Knowing the,
Yeah. But it's good to have that foundation of chemistry so that you can, branch off in different avenues of the market. So if you were in regulatory, you know the chemistry behind different raw materials in order to be a regulatory specialist. So, but all in all, yes, a cosmetic chemist does create those products from the bench. You trying to be a cosmetic chemist?
I'm not good at chemistry, so no. Chemistry was not my forte. That's why I was a communications major, not science.
No, that's all right.
So how did you decide to choose, since you said there's so many different lanes, how did you decide to choose that lane instead of going into maybe wanted to be the marketing or the sales?
Yeah, for sure. So when I was in high school, actually middle school and high school, I knew I wanted to be a WNBA player. I wanted to be a Ravens cheerleader at the same time. Don't know how I was going to do it, but I was going to do it. And because basketball was my passion. I wanted to go to college, get a degree, a regular degree, but also play basketball. And then maybe play overseas or in the WNBA. And then
if you don't know, let me tell you, she's that girl on the court. That's how we know each other. She's that girl on the court. So let me just tell you.
I haven't some basketball stuff.
Yeah, I haven't picked up a basketball in so long, but my chemistry teacher in the 10th grade said, Cynthia, you should really get into chemistry. And I told him, no, I don't want to make pharmaceuticals. I don't want to work for NASA or anything like that. So he said, look into cosmetic chemistry because you're infatuated with your hair. I always had high self-esteem with my skin as well. So he said, yes, look into cosmetic science. So ever since then, I had to be a cosmetic chemist. I knew I was going to work for L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, Johnson & Johnson, all these high-end companies, and I said I have to be a cosmetic chemist. So then in 2014, after I graduated from the Lincoln University, first HBCU, by the way, just wanted to let y'all know, I just was like, I have to start my own business now. When I got introduced into network marketing, one of my friends said, you should really start a cosmetic laboratory. Like, bring that business mindset into the chemistry mindset. I thought to myself, duh, I could just go ahead and do that, just have my own clients. I can get paid the way I should get paid. I don't have to worry about, you know, a lot of these big time companies with their checks and worth, and you know how that goes in corporate America. So I had to get that knowledge, that hands-on knowledge, the book smarts as well, and bring everything together to create a laboratory. Yes.
Look at you.
Yeah, so it's been a dream. Like, everything is just going up. Of course, I thank God for everything.
Amen.
You know, from blessings to even obstacles. You have to go through those obstacles in order to get that reward, in order to get those blessings. So at one company that I work for, I'm not going to name their name, but I work for that company, and they found out about my social media of Cindy J when it first started. It was like 200 followers and like I don't even know how many posts.
Don't tell me they was upset about
They were pissed. So
my gosh.
they told me that I either had to shut down my social media or I had to leave the company.
Why though?
So,
But they said
what was the conflict?
it's the thing is, to this day, I'm still trying to figure out what that conflict is. And I think it's really because they knew my potential. They didn't give me my worth, but they knew my potential. So they wanted to keep me in that box. So after work, I cried my eyes out, of course, because it's like I just bought my house. And
it's like a WTF.
Yeah, so they told me, of course, you know, I had 24 hours to let them know.
They didn't even give you no time.
Oh my
nothing,
goodness.
nothing at all. And so I went to my parents. I went to my old HR manager. I told them everything, like, what should I do? And they said, just get on your knees and pray. And that's what I did. I sat outside my apartment at the time, because I didn't have my house yet. But I sat outside my apartment, and I just put my hands up. And I just said, God, just give me the strength.
You're about to be
let
crying
you-
right now.
For real.
I literally was just talking about this earlier today.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's like he gives you these tests to really show if your faith is strong. You know, you got to keep that faith. So when I went into work, they deactivated my key code. Yes, and I told myself, don't let that, you know, get to you. Just let them know you're shutting down your social media business. They didn't say my business. They said my social media. So I still kept my business. You know, still did the email marketing and everything. But I knew I had to look for another job.
Yeah.
So I let them know I'm shutting that down. Literally a month later, I left that job and went to another job as a process engineer. So in that way, I'm able to learn about manufacturing, because Cindy J is going to become a manufacturer one day as well. So I knew I had to have these different steps in order to get to my end goal. So, but I couldn't do that while I was working at that job.
Yeah.
So that obstacle just had me right. Yes.
It's crazy how, because literally I feel like I was just saying it today, like, it's crazy how you really do, like, me and my friend Candy was having this conversation yesterday, like, you really do got to put your faith in God. Like, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen, period, but you just really got to put your faith and, like, trust and know that, like, God's plan for you is way better than any plan you could ever think of, ever consider, I literally was just saying this. If I had everything in my life that I thought I wanted, ain't no telling, I would be unhappy. I would be so unhappy.
You're all over the place.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
And for that to be like, to come into fruition for you, I love that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I feel like it's only, it can only go up from here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I keep telling myself that too. It can only go up. You can't go back to how it used to be. You have to continue to inspire people, give back, and just continue to prosper. So,
Wow.
yes.
Oh, what? I just love this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so like, what is like, so since you have Cindy J as a company, right? So like, what is its mission? Like, what all do you service? Because I know you said at one point it's going to be a manufacturing thing. Like, so what all does that encompass?
Yeah, so our mission at Cindy J is to definitely help our business owners gain knowledge behind their ingredients, behind the formulation process. There's a lot of misinformation out there as far as ingredients. There's a lot of misinformation about the product development process. So our mission, of course, is to, extend that innovative access. We're very accessible at Cindy J. We want to make sure we're accessible to just business owners who don't have the resources. And we also want to make sure, again, we give back to that community. You know, without community, it's like, what do you have? You know, you can sit on top of a manufacturing spot, but if you don't give back, what's the point of having it?
Right.
So we make sure we, you know, put those values and that mission together to make sure that we give back to our business owners, beautypreneurs, and also aspiring chemists.
That's cute, beautypreneurs.
That is so cute.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So with that and like giving back, well, so can you talk about more of where you are today and like was that what you even imagined when you like first started out and like you was going through those obstacles of trying to build your brand to where it is today?
I feel like it's a blessing and a curse. I'm not gonna say curse, maybe a blessing and an opportunity when you are really dreaming as a kid, you know, being in high school, learning about cosmetic science, and you have all these dreams, but then it's like, I'm aspiring to have that dream, but I'm not realizing the obstacles that come with it. So you dream big, but your obstacles are gonna be even bigger. So I had to learn that early on, again, from that company that, you know, gave me the ultimatum. But once I really put my mindset of, I'm gonna have my own laboratory within 5 years, I did it in 2. I'm gonna leave my mom's house, my parents' house, in 5 years, did it in 2. So you have to put that plan together, put everything on paper. I tell myself all the time, stop just bottling everything up in your mind. You have to put it on paper. And I'm sorry, my fellas, y'all have to take our advice on this. My brother, my cousin, they all say the same thing. Everything's up here, it's on the mind. I said, no, I need you to put it on paper.
Yeah, because it's very easy to like sit and forget.
Yes.
And like you'll be like, oh shoot, all this time has passed by and I still ain't done it yet.
Right, exactly.
I'm a big advocate for that too.
Exactly. And it's like, what are the steps to getting to that end solution, that end result? What are the solutions that you're providing in order to get to that result? So when I was younger, I said, I know business owners are lacking resources, or small business owners. Black women business owners are lacking that resource. So what am I going to do in order to offer a solution for them? So in order to do that, I had to get over some of those obstacles. I had to get over some of those pain points of being in corporate America in order to really realize what business owners are looking for. So that's where the dreams come in. Now we can get into manufacturing. Now we can offer a solution for manufacturing for those small businesses. Because a lot of these manufacturers, they want you to spend thousands, 10,000.
Money everybody don't
have. Yes, and a lot of business owners do not have that yet. So we're going to be that solution to help them with those small minimum order quantities.
So you really focus on like small businesses as well, like for your, I guess, clients?
Yes, yes. So we have different tiers. So if someone, you know, that had money or was famous or whoever came through Cindy J, which has happened, we were able to get some type of deals going on with them. We have that tier. But for my smaller businesses, we have a tier for them too. That's our target market, is to help the small businesses. But we don't say no, we can't, you know, service you because you're not our target market. We're still going to make sure we help you, but we just have to do a little bit more research, you know, behind what they're looking for.
Interesting. So what's like that big client? How did you do that? Like, how were you able to keep up with like the demand or like the order or like?
So with the big client or just my service in general with clients, we only do the formulation side. So once we get into manufacturing, then I can answer that question. That's really going to be over the hump. Cindy J is taking this to the next level. But from a formulation standpoint, it was the same process. Same process with our small businesses, doing the research, developing the samples, sending out samples, and really being that consultant for that business. So
interesting. It's like a whole
new world. It's like a whole new world.
Yes, yeah. It's like a lot of people usually hit the surface of product development. They really don't sit down with the chemist to really understand what that product development looks like. And that's why chemists like myself are doing things like this, to make sure that everyone's aware of the knowledge behind product development. So
that is so interesting to me.
I feel like I need a recruiter.
I am intrigued.
Listen.
I am so intrigued. Oh my gosh.
Well, hold your thought.
Yes.
Hold your thought because you intrigued and you got a whole lot of more questions. So hold on to it and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's your girl Janae, owner of Faze Body Bar located in downtown Baltimore at 924 East Baltimore Street, where we specialize in comfort waxing and intimate skincare. So if you're a girly that just loves hair removal, self-care, or just intimate skin waxing, come see your girls down at Faze Body Bar.
All right, and now we are back at it again.
So we want to know what your everyday, like, what does everyday look like for you?
Ooh, my everyday is not a normal everyday.
Oh, I think we got that.
Yeah, typically I would go in, check emails, maybe have meetings with interns, and then schedule out, I'm talking Mondays, I should say, schedule out for the rest of the week, maybe even the month. And I could be formulating all day, one day, or I could be having meetings all day, one day. And I'm never rarely, I should say, formulating and having meetings at the same time. I'm also the Area 4 director for a nonprofit called the Society of Cosmetic Chemists. So I oversee 4 chapters in our society. So I'm always having meetings with them. I'm having meetings with my business consultants or brand consultants or even clients, potential clients. And that can go from 9 a.m. to maybe even till 7:30 p.m. So yes, it is definitely a long day. But I try to space it out as much as I can so I can take breaks, of course, for myself. But usually my Mondays and Fridays are very free, which I purposely do it like that. Yeah. But my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are always hectic. So it's never a come in 9 to 5, this is what the plan is going to be. It always changes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is a long day.
Literally.
Very long.
So how do you find time to do this plus like your social media and everything?
Yeah, that's another thing too. Social media just takes over my life a lot, actually more than formulating. That's why I hired a social media intern and a marketing intern in order for them to help me with my social media. So that way I can work on growing my business and not working in my business because it gets too much. When you're doing social media plus formulating plus being an Area 4 director plus having new clients and making sure your existing clients are happy, it gets very, very tedious and overwhelming. So I have to make sure that I'm spreading, the different tasks to my interns and to actually my mom. My mom, she's retired, but now she works for me. So yeah, so she gets to do a lot of the administrative work for me as well. But it does get tiring though, but having the interns with the marketing piece will help out so much.
With these interns, like, do they find you? Do you find them? Like, how did you even get to the point of like, you know what? I'm bringing these interns and I'm going to have them like help me build my brand, build my business.
I didn't get I want to say an abundant amount of resumes until last year, because as I'm building my business, of course, I'm building my social media. So my social media is growing continuously, which means my engagement, my reach is just out of this world. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm reaching out to different people, clients are finding me, but how about the interns, like people that want to work for Cindy J? They will be reaching out to me as well. So I didn't have to go on Indeed, I didn't have to go on Glassdoor or anything like that just to put a job posting out. The interns came to Cindy J. So I was able to, I didn't have to post anything. I was so proud of myself too, but I was proud of the interns because they're so passionate about cosmetic science. They're passionate about working for Cindy J. So of course that made me just on cloud 9, of course. But I was able to save all of their resumes into a file. And then once I was ready to actively get involved with internships, that's when I was able to reach out to them for interviews. So I do have a laboratory intern here as well, and she's learning the day-to-day activity of Cindy J or just being a cosmetic chemist in general. Because like I said, cosmetic chemists wear different hats. So the fact that I'm doing this now, I'm wearing a different hat. The fact that I'm formulating, that's a different hat. So she's really learning the different tasks involved as a cosmetic chemist.
That's really amazing. I know off camera you were telling us that she's like all the way from Atlanta.
Yes.
And like to me, that makes me super happy because I know like when I was in college and stuff, like I moved completely out of state for like an internship too, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's like my big break. I'm so excited to get these like experiences. I'm so glad to be learning from these companies because like I moved to California for an internship from Arkansas.
Nice.
I moved to New York for an internship from Arkansas.
Right.
So I'm like, it just makes me so excited for you that you're able to even like be at the capacity to have interns and then have these interns come from different places outside of like the DMV area. Like that's some big stuff.
Thank you. And it was a long time coming for sure because, you know, I always compare a business to a baby. I always say, you know, we're growing our baby. We want our baby to ourselves. She's going to experience this too. You may not want just any old babysitter.
No,
you know,
yeah.
It's just not going to work. And that's how I felt with my business. I just don't want people coming in my business and messing it up. That was my mindset. That was my mentality until my mom started working for me. And I started giving her tasks. I'm like, oh, I like this. Like she gets to do stuff while I'm working on other things. And then my best friend came and worked as my social media specialist for my second business. And I said, yes, this is great. So that's when that trust and that level of loyalty just really embedded into Cindy J. So I said, I have to find interns. Well, I have the interns, I just have to reach out to them. So that's how that came about. But yeah, it was hard in the beginning. I wanted to do everything myself. No.
That's the independence. That's that nobody.
Yes. So.
I feel like it sounds like every entrepreneur that I talk to, they go through that struggle of like, oh, I don't trust anybody else to like, you know, do what I know I can do or do what I do or handle my business how I do. So I commend you for being able to like finally let go.
Absolutely.
And have multiple at the same time.
Yes.
Like, have like multiple doing a lot of different stuff.
Yes, it was the best decision for sure. I mean, Naomi is just amazing being behind the bench. You know, she's doing things at a fast pace. You know, we were supposed to be doing training, but she's doing products on her own. If I give her like a formula or give her the procedure, she's doing it.
Come on, Naomi.
And I don't have to say, you know, Naomi, why is this, you know, this way? And I always tell her, don't be afraid to make mistakes. You know, as an intern, you want to make mistakes. So you can learn from those mistakes. So she asked a lot of questions, which I love. Ask the questions because that's how you learn. So yes, it's a blessing. Such a blessing.
Wow.
So talk to us a little bit about your role with the nonprofit and what that looks like for you, and what does that bring you outside of just like running Cindy J?
Yeah, so it definitely helps me gain access to resources because, like I said, with indie beauty brands or small businesses, they don't have that accessible resources. So with being in the Society of Cosmetic Chemists, I'm able to network heavy with a lot of heavy hitters. I mean, chemists, manufacturers, brand owners, editors of magazines, all these different things. I'm so blessed to be in the society because I was featured in my first big time magazine, which was Harper's Bazaar.
Oh,
so,
go on, girl. Come on now.
Congratulations.
And it's all because a lady that worked she was an actual employee of the Society of Cosmetic Chemists. The editor asked her, do you know any Black chemists that we can feature in Harper's Bazaar? And quickly she said Cynthia. So being in that space, I'm able to not only voice myself, but also be the voice of my community as well, especially in a magazine like Harper's Bazaar.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah, from them being, you know, a fashion beauty magazine where I think they had the first Black model in, I want to say in the 80s or 90s or something. It's been around for a long time. Like just to even be in that space was amazing. So yeah, I had to make sure that I was able to be accessible within that realm. But just being an area 4 director with a lot of the chapters that are in the U.S. in general, I'm able to help a lot of aspiring chemists. I'm able to help a lot of aspiring digital creators as well who want to get into that social media space.
That's what's up. I'm telling you, networking really gonna get you where you need to.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Always,
Who
always.
you know is good.
And it's not even
It's gonna
just
take
about
care.
who you know, too. You gotta have a great personality.
Yes.
You cannot
Be
just
mean.
be mean, stuck up, like fix your
Nasty.
face. Sometimes you cannot have that resting face. You have to smile. Like, I make sure I smile with everyone. I don't even care if you're treating me wrong. I'm gonna still smile because they're gonna remember that smile.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That's some powerful stuff right there.
Thank you.
Because I feel like within like this, like today's society, I feel like we deal with a lot of entitlement. So I feel like everybody's like, oh, well, I know I work hard, so like I deserve this. Or like, oh, I know I can do this, but I deserve this. And sometimes it really is like, yeah, you can work hard, sis, but like, do you have them soft skills too?
Right.
Like,
Right.
do you have them
Sure.
soft skills?
You have
Are
to
you
have the soft
nice?
skills.
Like, do people remember you? Because like I feel like that's even how I got like my job today. Like, everybody just remember me being this nice, positive, happy, joyous intern. And they was like, yeah, we just love her personality, so bring her back.
Right.
Like, that was really what carried me through to even have my job now.
Not even the knowledge or anything like
All
that.
that
So
don't even
your
matter
personality.
sometimes. Because they made a whole job just for me. All my personality. A whole
so
job
good.
just for me.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely have to have that personality. And even if you don't, try to at least practice how to maximize what you do have.
Yeah.
You know, if you know you're shy a little bit, still ask questions here and there just to get your name out there. It's okay to be shy sometimes. Sometimes I'm shy. Sometimes, but
Yeah, you just gotta find a balance. Everybody is not an extrovert.
exactly.
So I mean, you just gotta find like what works best for you, for sure.
For sure.
So what's next? What's next for Cindy J?
Whew. Well, Cindy J will definitely be one of the Black conglomerates of the community. And when I mean a lot of these business owners are selling to a lot of our counterparts as far as their companies, we want to be that conglomerate for them. We want to be able to, invest in those companies so that they won't have to go to the counterparts to sell or to get that investment. So that's the ultimate goal for Cindy J. From a short-term basis, definitely manufacturing on a smaller scale, then getting to that medium size, and then maybe large, but still keeping the integrity of the smaller businesses that need those smaller units. Because you have to grow. You don't want to stay stagnant. You do want to grow eventually. But for Cindy J, we are starting off small from that manufacturing standpoint, and then growing into a bigger manufacturer. But again, just keeping the small businesses, keeping them happy with their number of units. So that's the short-term goal for Cindy J. But long-term, definitely want to be that conglomerate for our business owners so they don't have to go to our counterparts.
What's next for you as an individual? Because you are not just all the Cindy J's.
Yeah.
You are so many things. What's next for you?
I get that question all the time because I always had like in the back of my mind that Cynthia is the brand, of Cindy J. But I always have to think about Cynthia. Like, my self-care has to be on point. My self-care was lacking.
This is self-care queen right
Yeah.
here.
My self-care was definitely lacking since 2021. I lost 2 of my family members back to back. And it was, of course, a confusing time, traumatizing time, but more confusing that I didn't even care about self-care. I said, I'm just going to walk out the house, do whatever I need to do, maybe wear a do-rag, I don't know. But I'm just going to do what I need to do just to go to work and make my clients happy. But I wasn't making Cynthia happy. So I had to get back to cooking. So now I'm cooking a whole lot more. Making sure I'm getting my reps in when it comes to, physical. I mean, I used to be an athlete. Now I don't work out like at all. So getting back to, when you're waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., you just don't want to do that anymore.
Nobody cares about that.
At all. But now I want to get back into that, because my energy levels were so low. So I need to definitely make it better, but I am getting back into the self-care. I want to raise a family. I really do. I have come to that point where, hot girl summer is over there somewhere. Don't really need that no more.
Be careful.
But no, I'm serious. It's like when I went out a couple weeks ago for a part. Actually, I went to Euphoria.
Okay.
I said no. I can't do this. I'm not doing this again. I'm not.
You wasn't feeling the vibes?
Not at all. I mean, I loved it because it was one of my best friend's birthday, and she just loved it. Like, we celebrated her. But like, just looking around saying, I don't know.
Like,
I can't do this.
This is a bit much.
Yeah, it is. But not even like, I'm not saying you can't have fun while raising a family. Of course, you can still, still be with your girls because you need that friendship for sure. But I do see myself being a wife first.
Come on.
And being a mom second. Being a woman of God, continue being a woman of God, then being a wife, and then having kids. Because I want to leave a legacy. Cindy J and Cynthia, it just can't stop at Cynthia. It has to go even further within my legacy. So that's definitely next for Cynthia.
So we get started. We got to be candidates. We got to be essentials.
Or you just calm it down a hot girl summer for that. And then you see what the rest look like later.
Right. No, I'm just, letting God just take his course. He'll send me whoever he wants to send me. So I just have to listen to him and not.
Baby, that's the hard part.
I know.
The hardest.
Before we go, do you have any one piece of advice that you would love to get to any entrepreneur, beautypreneur?
Yes, beautypreneur. I would say, I always say this to everyone, even if you're not a beautypreneur. You always let the no's build your character and let that one yes build your business. That is something I go by with everything. You're always going to get a no. You're going to get a no from an investor. You're going to get a no from your bank. You're going to get a no from your parents. Your parents might say, I don't think this is for you. Let that build your character. Let that build your drive. Fuel that fire and just go after for what you want, because you're going to get that one yes. That yes is going to be like, this is the business that you need to be in. Right. So that's my advice for everyone.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We've had a great time, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode of That Girl Got Knowledge.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
I just wanna spend my life with you all day. You say that you love me, is it true? You say I'm the only one that's all for you. Okay, make me feel away, make me feel away. Shawty so damn dangerous, fuck me like I'm famous, yeah. I've been so impatient, so glad that you made it here. Took my dick and faced it, shawty going crazy, yeah. Thought that you was playing, so me spray it everywhere. She want me to take it, what you tryna do? Shawty said she like it.